What's up, it's Lip Service. I'm Angela Yee.
I'm Gigi Maguire.
I'm Jordy Jor.
And I'm Dr. Heavenly
Yes,
Kimes.
ma'am.
Well, first of all, Dr. Heavenly, I just want to say congratulations. I was excited when I found out that you were running for Congress in Georgia.
Yes.
That's a big deal. And I also saw that your polls are amazing.
Yes, you know, I'm a numbers person. So before I decided to run for Congress, I actually did a poll. And I statistically tied for number 2 before I even announced my candidacy.
Oh, wow.
That's how you got to see.
Because I'm known in my
Yeah.
district. Like every county in my district I've actually owned a practice in. So the people know me.
Oh, the people know you.
Yeah.
And I saw you talking about you actually were inspired by your son. And that was a big plot on Married to Medicine.
Yes.
Where you didn't know he got arrested until much later. Your husband knew, you didn't know.
Yes.
So tell us about why that was an inspiration for you.
Well, I think that is a testimony because so many Black men are unalived by police officers in situations that could be, you know, he was arrested at gunpoint. You know, he did some things that he shouldn't have done. I mean, I'm not saying the cops were even wrong, but I'm just grateful that my son is okay. You know, and actually when he went to the jail, the cop knew my husband because my husband worked in the ER and he had, you know, saved his life and he recognized the name.
Wow.
And they called Damon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is fortunate for him.
Absolutely.
Because it could
It's
have
a
went a
blessing.
whole nother way.
Yeah.
You know, and on the show
Such
they
a
act
blessing.
like I'm running from it. No, it's a testimony, you know? I'm just so grateful. I thank God every day.
I've heard some of the ladies be like, oh, she did know, how she didn't know about it, how, you know, because you
Because it
found
was
out.
so fast. Like, you know, my husband handled it. You know what I'm saying? And then it didn't come up to the court dockets till years later.
Okay.
So when I saw it on Twitter, I see stuff all the time. I saw that, you know, me and my husband was getting a divorce on Twitter. I knew it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? So I see stuff that's not true all the time.
Yeah. I want to ask, though, because clearly that upset you, that secrecy of him not telling you that. How do you guys get...
I honestly, it did not bother
It
me. I
didn't?
don't know
Okay.
where y'all getting it from. No, I thought that he was protecting me. My husband, no, I act a damn fool. So he was like, rather than take her through that, you know what I'm saying?
Just
And
handle it.
he just handled it and just kept it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you rather he tell you than social media? Because I also feel there's that.
I don't think he thought that through because he's not on.
He's a man.
He's not on social media at all. You
It
know
was
what I'm saying?
something that he
he's,
thought was
you know,
going to be swept under the rug and done with, and you would never
yes,
find out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this year, because you're running for office, you also have taken a step back on the show Married to Medicine, but I still feel like your presence is very felt.
Absolutely.
You know.
But do you feel that you're moving differently? Because I also think...
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying to move differently, but
You're
the
working
ladies is
Friday,
on
keep
my
pulling you
ass
back.
I mean, I walk in the building, they're like, "Don't sit there. You can't do that." You know, and they're trying to challenge me on every step. And I hate to say, I got so frustrated with Simone because she screamed at me. Everybody says she screams all the time, but that night when she screamed at me and she grabbed my arm, I was like, I'm about to slap the shit out. I need to go. I need to go because you don't yell at somebody then grab them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me.
And I think sometimes we watch it on TV and it may not look as serious as it felt in person. And sometimes it's the opposite.
Usually, absolutely.
Sometimes
Usually
it looks worse on
To
TV.
me, her and Quad wasn't that serious because it was actually a joke about the VIN number. Simone looked stuff up. You know what I'm saying? She looked up people's houses, but then she get the information wrong. So we laugh at Simone.
Right.
It's okay that you look it up but get the right information,
Okay,
right?
get your
So
facts
then she
straight.
said, well, I look at the VIN and we laughing and kikiing about it. I told Quad flipped out, but then she is on those shots to have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Those
She's
IVF
going
shots.
through
So
the
it might have been
IVF
just a snap out.
And I also think that's a sore spot for Quad because people know that they could come for her when it comes to, like, you know, they kind of poke at her about that. And I know that that's
About her finances?
About her finances.
I think that people wonder how she can have a house better than all eyes, a car better than all eyes. You know what I'm saying? But Quad is actually really good with money. And if you look at it, and this is no shot at Simone, Quad ain't got no kids, so we ain't got nobody running up a $60,000 credit card. You know what I'm saying? We don't have nobody in college that you got to pay the college tuition. Quad is just her.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that's a sore spot for
Yeah.
Simone. I did.
Yeah.
I will say I did feel for her in that episode.
Absolutely.
Seeing her son
Yes.
and her husband and her feeling unappreciated with everything. And I was thinking maybe she's just emotional about her own personal things that she's going through.
The interesting thing about that is we don't see it. I did not know Simone had that scene. I mean, she need a Golden
fact.
Globe. That was the most
It
realist
was.
scene I've ever seen on
You said
reality
she need a
TV.
Golden
I
No,
mean,
that
I'm not
was
saying
a
she was
very
acting.
intense scene.
I'm just saying it was raw. It was so emotional, and it was so heartfelt because so many Black women go through the same things.
Yeah.
All of us
Yeah.
have a situation where we do not agree with our husbands. You know what I mean? I just don't put it on TV. You know what I'm saying? And they mad. Let me tell you why they mad. Because when the Heavenly come through, they said, well, Heavenly, well, what, they done suffer bled and slit their wrist all over the show. And they asked me, Heavenly, well, how's your marriage? Well, that shit is perfect.
No
Yes, it is. I have sex every night. What are you saying?
Wow. Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm jealous.
Girl, you're lying.
Sex every night.
Yes, I'm lying. I don't have a coronary. I just don't choose to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got their thing. Jackie's not coming off her pedestal. Heavenly can cross the line and she's not going to disrespect her husband. We're not going to argue on TV if I can help it. Do we argue? Absolutely. Is any marriage perfect? Absolutely not. Do we fuss about the kids? Absolutely. I actually understand Cecil, because if I had to do it all over again, I might have done some things differently. But I said this the other night, we give our kids a soft life and then we push them out into a hard world and we want them to be able to survive, and we're hard on them, and they're just not like us. They're not equipped mentally at all to do
era.
what we can do. You know what I'm saying? So
I also think kids today are just like, they do get a lot. We were kind of raised a lot more tough too.
absolutely, we had to be. I had to get my own stuff. If I didn't work, like I say, I'm running for Congress. If I didn't get the Pell Grant or loans because they're trying to take away student loans, I wouldn't be here today.
Right.
I wouldn't be here. The kids got it easy, and they think it's easy. No, we worked hard for that. So I'm feeling Simone with all of my soul.
And I do think that there's these conversations about mental health that we were not having
Absolutely.
back
Never.
then, and also about like, okay, we're gonna take a mental health. We didn't have that.
We did not.
You know, even like being an intern, I remember being an intern and being like, nowadays you can't have interns do stuff like go get your dry cleaning.
Right.
Instead, they'll be like, oh no,
This is
that's
ethically
That's
wrong.
not my job.
You can't just
but
do
when
school
I was
credit.
an intern, I was picking up dry cleaning. I was
Coffee.
doing all the.
You worked for Wu-Tang. You probably was rolling up.
No, that
blunts.
was before Wu-Tang even. Well, working for Wu-Tang, it definitely was a lot of like,
Yeah.
But it was a great experience for me, and I think that being very multifaceted, because you never were doing what your job description was supposed to be. You were doing everything.
Yeah.
And now it's like, that's not in my job description, or I
Right.
can't do that, or
There's-
I have to
there's
leave at this
boundaries.
time.
No,
or
the
I-
people that work for me do whatever I think they need to. Because to me, I think that I pay well. So I feel like you should do everything. If I need you as an assistant,
Now, how is, so running for Congress, when you win, because we got to manifest that.
Yes,
when I
win.
win.
Okay.
So what happens with your practice then? Because
my son is actually in dental school. He'll be graduating.
Period.
So
He's taking it over?
But in a congressional space, you're half the time you're still in your
you can still
district.
work.
So I can actually work out something. They
work.
actually give you a schedule from what I understand, and you can kind of still see patients and do everything and make sure I'm multifaceted anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I can do more than one thing. Yeah, my kids are grown.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, I love watching Allura grow up.
yes, that's my baby girl. Yeah,
That's your mini me.
I love her
And
so much.
I have a mini me, so it's
She's my Michael. And I ain't
Yes.
even talking about nobody kids, but she's the one that is spoiled, that talks back, that, my husband would jack them up. You know what I'm saying? But she
But
gets
not that
away with
princess.
murder.
Yeah.
Murder with me.
It's nice to be the little girl.
It's just so good. Over the years, I've definitely been a fan of the show since season 1. And
really?
just really watching her go from this
And a
little
lot of
innocent
people don't even
girl
realize
to...
I have 2 kids,
Yeah.
I have 2 boys and a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a brother.
Yeah, I have a brother.
Ooh, let's talk about
it.
that scene. You
Yes.
found out about this brother.
Let me give you the whole 45.
Yeah,
'cause
we
y'all
need
been
the
talking
whole
about
story.
it.
How did you even
Okay.
find out?
Now, what happened was my dad was in the military, right? And so I remember vaguely that, him and my mom used to fight about a woman named Nettie Jean. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. Like, and Brenda, Belinda. I heard these names before when I was little, but I didn't know what it was. When my daddy actually died, one of his sons outside the marriage came to the funeral. But my sister acted a fool, so he got his stuff and he left, and he was a football player. Now, that was that brother's brother.
Okay.
Now, his brother passed away not too terribly long before I met him. But then I was in my office one day and they said, well, Heavenly, there's someone here that says he's your brother. I said, let him pay the fee. You know what I'm saying? And he could come back and talk to me, and he was well off. So, I did a lot of dental work on him. And I said, you're my brother. And he was like, yeah, I know he knew my grandmother, my aunts, and he wasn't lying. I mean, I remember his brother's name was Larry. You know what I'm saying? I remember those names because he came to my dad's funeral.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then we were going to do a DNA test. passed. But then when I saw his son looked exactly like my dad. I mean, we could still do a blood test, but he
know.
he ain't
Right,
asking me to take care of him or anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, he's been blessing my life, actually. So
that's wonderful.
yeah, so I'm just happy to have a brother. Now, do we talk every day? No, but he calls me, tells me different things, and it's good to have a big brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No, that was a really, I think, just an amazing scene for you to film. And I saw some people were critical of you calling him like an outside kid to his face. They were like,
did I
"Why
say
was
that?
it-"
I mean, interesting enough. I mean, yeah.
There was something you said.
You mind, I'm thinking, and then it comes out my mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, dude, how did you feel?
So you questioned, I think, his age or whatever.
Right,
and then
I
you're
wanted to
like,
know his age.
And you're like, oh, wait, so that means that when you were born, my father was still married to my mother.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
so I
yes.
think that's what the
I think that
statement.
if my mother was still alive, I probably would not have a relationship with my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because
think
my mom
so?
wouldn't. I didn't even know my mom's in-laws. Like I seen my grandmother maybe 4 times ever.
Oh,
Wow.
How does that feel though? Because I think there's people that go through that today, right? Where maybe they're not on good terms with, the father of their children or
the
other
in-laws.
people. Yeah. So what do you think
That side
about?
of the
I don't know
family.
any different. Like I'm saying, like when they told me that it was a big deal that I grew up in a room with no windows, I'm like, wait a minute, that ain't no big deal. I grew up in a room and they were like, oh, that's why you so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't think anything of it. So not seeing my grandmother was normal to me.
Okay.
Just like it's normal for these damn kids to spend money on credit
spend
cards.
all
and-
the $60,000
and actually have
no
money. You know what I'm
difference.
saying? It's normal for them.
Right.
But we get frustrated. And then these men let us believe that we don't know how to raise men and that we might not. You know what I'm saying? But we have different parenting styles and it's always going to be a conflict. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like this all is helpful too in your run for Congress. I want to say that just all the things that you've had to go through in your life, the things that you're discovering,
Absolutely.
even being on TV and dealing with that.
Oh yeah, it makes you hard. Like whatever comes at me with Congress, I'm prepared for it. 13 years reality TV doesn't prepares you. But not only that, I've seen things from both sides. I was on the free lunch. You know what I'm saying? I was on the WIC when I got pregnant in dental school and the food stamp. So I know it was a lifeline for me.
It also makes you more personable.
You think?
Yeah.
People, know,
It
people
makes people
already
feel like
they know
can-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
really.
There's
already feel like
nothing
they
you
know
could
you
be
from
hiding,
TV,
right?
and now they feel like they know you on another level.
They do.
On a more intimate level.
they really do. And it's really me. I don't tell my business. I'm a Scorpio, so that's real for me. I can't believe that y'all come on TV and do all of what y'all doing. I get with any of the women on there and curse them out and do whatever, but I'm not finna disrespect my husband, and that's my prerogative. Jackie don't come off her pedestal if she doesn't want to, and I'm sure somebody got a line somewhere. I mean, Toya don't, but somebody got a line somewhere where they say, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna cross this line on TV.
Boundaries.
So you had a real issue with how Toya was speaking to her husband.
Yes.
When-
I don't have an issue with it if he does not have an issue with it. So I won't even speak on it anymore.
Right.
If he's okay with it, I can't even say anything. But we were uncomfortable
It
at our
was a
house.
very cringy
It was
scene.
like, damn, Toya, God
Yeah.
damn.
Like, calm
whoa.
down a little.
And then he came back and apologized to her.
Yes, he did.
Makes you wonder, what the hell are we missing?
Yeah, there's
He
something there.
There's
because,
something.
You know, I feel like she asked him to do something. He was joking around about it.
But
He
then the way
was-
she said eye contact, like, bitch, look at me. When I'm
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah.
If that was the other way around and that was the man talking to the woman,
That
it
would
would
not
have
have been acceptable.
Because
Yeah.
we didn't even like, Sweet Tea when her husband was like, you know what, you know what he said. It would have been a different thing. Double standards are our brother talk.
They are.
Does anybody still talk to Sweet Tea? Do you?
I don't.
You haven't? Okay.
I'm Quad's friend.
I know. I was
going
going to say. So yeah, and Quad is also your campaign manager.
Quad was my campaign manager when I was running for state rep. My win number for state rep was 2,700 people. We could have knocked on 2,700 doors. Now that I'm running for Congress, my win number goes up to about 35,000.
Okay.
Okay. So now we needed a team that had experience in politics.
Right.
The reason I made Quad, if I could break the fourth wall, was I knew that on television, if I had her on my campaign, I would get more airtime.
Right.
Right. So so we
It
would
makes
film
sense.
together, talk about it, and she's a smart lady. She's a businesswoman, and she's a go-getter. So, speaking up for me, Quad was the girl,
You know, as a business person, the way that you're able to flip, not just being on the show, but also speaking about everything and having your own platform where you can really be the authority on what happened on this episode or explaining what happened here. I think that's really smart of you, but do they ever get mad behind the
They always mad.
They mad. But my whole thing is, y'all could do the same thing. Y'all talk about me like if they come on Angela Yee or Page 6, they say whatever the hell, and they get on other people's platform and talk shit. So
might as well have your own.
Right.
Dr. Heavenly get on their YouTube and say what she want to say, and they be so mad at her.
real mad.
But
They
what
don't
about
like
the
to be
producers?
reminded.
Do the producers
I think they love it because it carries the story. Like I'm telling and it's almost therapy for me because I don't
vents.
watch the show when it comes on. So when they ask me questions like I do with Carlos King, I'll just say, what actually happened. And we're like, we didn't see that.
Yeah.
We didn't see
right.
Simone scream out and say negative things about your husband.
'Cause all
And
y'all see is
that's
this
my
edit.
trigger.
Right.
So all they showed me was
Not
saying,
my
bitch, my
husband.
husband is this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, damn, I went in on Cecil. But then now I look back and I see the scenes. Simone wanted me to go out on Cecil again. Because she was pissed with him.
Right.
So I was like, damn, I fell in that trap again.
So you're saying this so she don't got to say it.
Right. That's my thought.
Pretty
I
much.
swear to God, that's what I think.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
what I
that's
think.
interesting.
That's a different way to look
That's
at
what
it.
I think.
Yeah.
Now listen, so y'all really have sex every night?
Girl, hell no.
Okay, you said okay.
I said that to girl. Listen, I
was
have
like,
sex about
damn.
as much as Simone does. That's how many times I had sex. As much as she talking about the sex is so great, and I'm just okay, bitch. All right. I don't talk about shit that ain't on camera, so I'm gonna let you roll with that. Okay, go ahead.
But you've been with Dr. Damon for over 30 years.
Yeah, we've been married 28. We've been together probably 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That's a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I understand Simone and Cecil, meaning that you go through ups and downs, highs and
Yeah.
lows. I just don't do the shit on TV.
Right.
And they mad because I just won't risk my marriage for television. And I've been like that from day one.
Yeah.
Jackie don't come, just your prerogative. If you do it, you can't be mad that I don't.
That's a good lesson for people though,
Yes.
because
You
I
don't
think,
have to. I can get with you and you.
yeah, that's always like people think
That's
that's
enough.
the curse of
Yeah.
reality TV.
Yes.
They think, oh, it breaks up
It breaks up
relationships, it breaks up
relationships.
marriages. But the truth is, like when you put certain things out there,
Yeah.
it can have a snowball effect.
And they on Twitter, like Cecil's on Twitter, they're looking at the comments. They're looking at, and a lot of times I remember T.I. and Tiny saying this, you weren't mad until you saw what other
you
people
saw
were
what
saying,
saying.
right?
Exactly.
Damon's not on Twitter. Damon's not on, but Cecil is. He retweeting shit. You know what I'm saying? So he sees the comments
in the
and then you come back and you argue. I know people argue about reality TV, but I also know that sometimes reality TV keeps you together because you don't want the stigma of a divorce or some people feel like it's an embarrassment. Like, I'm going to stay in this marriage because I don't want to go through a divorce on television.
Right.
Yeah, no, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, now listen, Dr. Heavenly. First of all, we already knew you were going to be amazing because you don't hold back when it comes
At
to
all.
anything.
Right.
So now, if you want to talk about, and I know right now, what's the most important thing to you is running for office. And so, what are some things that you feel like they haven't gotten right now in Atlanta, in Georgia, that you feel like you can actually
In your
In
district
my
specifically?
district,
Yeah.
in my district, the big beautiful bill. I keep saying the same thing. The big beautiful bill passed, and our congressman was silent. Right? We're waiting for some kind of transition. We're waiting for some kind of guidance, town hall on how the people, And then when the government shut down, we heard nothing again. And I'm out there, doing initiatives, going with MARTA and different places where they're doing food banks and telling people where to go to get the foods and stuff like that. He's not to be found. And my thing was, when the big beautiful bill passed, I learned it. I understand the Georgia pathway system because I understand insurance. I understand. I've been doing it 25 years.
You definitely understand insurance, and that's a hot topic.
Right.
Yes.
And I know people gonna die. When we talk about it, I see firsthand people cannot afford their dental treatment. My husband sees they can't afford their medical treatment, and they're gonna die. And it's almost like, don't nobody damn it care. And my district has been left behind. The district, and and there are affluent people in my district, but it's also 71% African American. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm winning the race, because it's a Democratic district. When I win the primaries, I won the election. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've had a practice in every county in the district. I'm the only one on the ticket can boast that I've lived in that district 25 years. I've been giving back to that district. That's my district.
Right.
Yeah.
I love this because I think this is going to be encouraging for a lot of people. And I've seen you say this is really your purpose. It's not, you want your legacy to be this, not reality TV.
Yeah. I feel like I was called to do this, and I don't have a choice.
That's such
I
a
don't have a
huge
choice.
step up for you.
I would have never thought. And when I was first asked to do it, I said, hell no. I said, hell no, I'm not doing that because I'm on reality TV and I don't
Who
know how
asked
people...
you to do like
when I went to get an award for the things I've done in the community at the Capitol building, you know how to give those proclamations or whatever. They gave me a proclamation, and then one lady said, well, you know what, you should run for office. I said, girl, I'm on reality TV. I'm not, because if I'd have thought about it, I would have not done the things and said the things. and you know,
Let me delete
and
that.
then when the lady said, well, talk to this person. And I'm, you know, we went to Meharry where we learned to serve the underserved, and that's always been in my heart and soul. And I was like, okay, I can do state rep. But then when I announced state rep on television, it went everywhere. I got 5 million hits. And so people started calling me back heavenly. The congressman is not being seen. He's not being seen. You need to run for Congress. Your platform's too large. You can help people. You can use your resources. I know Atlanta's the mecca of Black professionals.
Absolutely.
And I know them. You know what I'm saying? And I can make a Medicaid office and allow my colleagues to volunteer and just promote their business. That, you know, self-interest is the best interest. And we can make some things happen within the community. Absolutely. And then if you get the federal funds,
right,
and you understand money, and you've already penny pitched and stretched dollars by opening business, you understand federal funds, now we can make some shit happen. We can go and look at we had one of the largest airports in the world, and we're looking at jet fuel taxes and stuff like that. The large 9 million people go through the airport every month.
You there all the time.
So you can get a little federal tax of 10 cents. That's $900,000.
How did Dr. Damon respond to you when you told him that this was something that you wanted to do?
Absolutely. When I told him, he said, I thought you should have been running for Congress from the very beginning. And he said it before, but I was like, I don't think you know what I'm saying? Damon is so supportive, speaking up and speaking out, but always has been. And everything else. You know, people say, Heavenly, you had 9 practices. I had 9 practices because I had a husband that backed me in everything I ever did. And I love him for that. I will never disrespect him on television. My marriage is not for sale. And I said that since the beginning. I don't give a fuck what happens.
Two things I want to say here. Number one, I love the fact that somebody told you should run, because I always feel like as much as we complain about politics and government, we need to be putting people in position and telling people that we think would be effective. If it's not you, I want you to run. I don't think that's right for me, but you know who I think would be great? And that the fact that somebody told you that you would be great and you listen, because I do think it is a calling, right? Certain people, you want to get them in position to get things done and you want to support that person. And then this is something that also will encourage people like to be on the platform that you're on. And for young Black girls and boys and, you know, all girls to see this is something that later on makes them feel like, maybe this is something I'm interested in doing.
Absolutely.
Too.
And I can tell you that I've been called by the colleges and universities to speak to them about running for politics. I ain't know anything about running for politics. But when God has something for you, he put the people in place. Now I got an amazing team. You know what I'm saying? I just don't even know how it happened. I have a lot of volunteers. The children are knocking on doors, all this kind of stuff. And I don't even know how it happened,
so
Lord.
Inspiring.
Lord.
It happened because it was supposed to.
That's exactly right. And when you, like you say, people are going to die. And we're looking at that big, beautiful bill, and I understand. And I'm already doing town halls. I'm going in Clayton County, and they're talking about, well, we have a mental health challenge, an epidemic down here, where 44% of the people in jail are not criminals. They have mental health issues. I have people in my family close to me with mental health issues. It's near and dear to the heart. And a big, beautiful bill, the people are falling through the cracks because you have to have 80 hours of you have to work 80 hours a month or do community service. And if you have mental health issues, you can't hold down a job. If you have autism and you're over 18, you fall through the cracks. And what are you supposed to do? Die. You know what I'm saying? They've taken away the Medicaid funds, so hospitals are closing down. And now they have to drive 80 miles to get to, and we already dying 3 times more likely to die in my community, my type of African-American communities. And their voice is not heard. And like I say, again, our congressman has said nothing. I don't care what's the reason.
Speak up.
If you can't do it, pass the torch.
I love your passion for this.
Pass the torch.
And come up with some solutions.
Absolutely. And it's just like dentistry. If you tell me where the pain point is and you go in the community, they telling you the answer. They're like, hey, you know what? I'm a veteran. 480,000 veterans in the state of Georgia, right? Thousands of them are homeless. I said, well, what is the solution? They tell you that we got army bases that are abandoned. We can make these tiny homes. They give you the solution. All they need is the funding to do it. And somebody to listen to them and somebody to realize
that's where
we
that
work
federal
for
money
you.
come in.
It don't matter what I think, it's about you. And the people get in these seats and they leave and they do whatever and they never come back. And it's interesting how like when I started learning about it, a lady 81 years old, she said, Heavenly, I understand your credentials. You could talk about you a doctor all day, what businesses you ran and all this, that, the other, all these credentials, right? We don't give a fuck about that. What we want is somebody that's real and relatable, that we can count on, that's not going to leave us when you get to Congress, because every time we support somebody,
They get there and do
they
that.
get there and they don't come back. You know what I'm saying? And you know how hard it is to unseat an incumbent? When they get there, they got federal funding. They got federal budget where they can send out flyers. They can do kind of things federally. Then they get campaign money because they get money from lobbyists and stuff like that to vote a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's the way it's done. But a lay person, the average person can't compete.
How has it been raising money for you? Because
It's
I know
actually-
that's a whole different monster, and money's important.
I actually came in the game late, but you would be surprised the support I got with just Meharry grads. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody from the Meharry Alumni Association was like, hey, we got a list of the 900 doctors that graduated. All I do is get on the phone. Heavenly, you called me? They know me because I'm on TV. They probably, you act a damn fool on TV, but listen, you called me. You know what I'm saying? And we understand your passion because they understand that I went to Meharry too, right? So that's how you get the money. You just got to have a good finance person under you, and we got it. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is like, I get what we call, earned media.
Yeah.
Free. When Toya said, you're not this ABC News, I mean, not ABC, Fox 5 News, TMZ, all these companies say, you know what, Heavenly, we saw your American Medicine, what's going on? Then I say, well, you know what? Let me tell you my platform and why I'm running, I'm running. So it's earned, it's free.
There you go. Right there.
Reality TV is free media. Yes, I'm gonna do my launch in the front of the Capitol building in the hot sun in the parking lot because I want you to see the freaking thing. And that's where you're supposed
Cameras
to do
is
it.
rolling.
Y'all gonna talk shit about it, but people gonna see it, right? And then when I did, I said, you know what? All these ladies said positive things. So all the shit we doing for reality TV, I'm finna record their asses, the positive shit they really think. So I'm gonna put it out there, the positive stuff, right? So when they played it, and the people was like, well, you know, it was only one person that was really against it. And I didn't know why she was so fucking mad about it. You're not gonna, not you, bitch. You're not, and it's state rep. Meaning it's a sacrifice. You know, the job pays $28,000 a year. Oof. And I'm going out of my way. And you mad because I'm doing this for my community? Why are you mad? I would never live in your community. Bitch, you ain't but one economic downturn from being under my community. You know, keep spinning the way you do. You know what I'm saying? One economic downturn, not to one. So how do y'all feel like y'all better than somebody
I
in
want
our
to ask
community?
on a positive note. Who do you
talk
feel?
I get mad.
I want to ask on a positive note. Who do you feel out of the ladies on
Besides Quad?
Married to Men?
All of them.
Quad.
All of them.
Who do you feel like who's been the most supportive in your political
Definitely
journey?
Quad. Definitely Jackie. Jackie done gave, you know, so much money and time. Angel is amazing.
Yeah.
Brandy is good.
Okay.
Who else said Mimi? Oh my gosh, she's
You
a
know what you
psychiatrist.
just did?
She has
Besides Jackie, you named all the newcomers.
the newcomers.
Quad.
Newcomers.
Well,
Jackie's
Quad
like,
don't
it was
count
just
because we know Quad on
it's
the
only
team.
only two people that have. Well, initially Simone was supportive. She did give to my campaign. I thank her for that. But then after we fell out, she
dropped
and I
that.
mean, to me, and one thing that we've done on Married to Medicine is support one another.
Right.
And when
Career-wise.
when Toya was doing the wine, we stood behind her. You know what I'm
Jackson.
saying? So
Which is definitely true. I will say y'all have done a great job of
that's
getting
what
into
we
situations
do.
where
So I
y'all-
can understand this was so different.
Yeah.
We all talk shit about each other. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I'm just the only one.
Right.
So why y'all so mad I'm running for state
What
rep?
made you change your mind and go on the girls trip? Because
I changed my mind.
well, it looked like you
It
wasn't
looked
going to
like
go.
you weren't gonna go at
It
first,
looked
then
like
you
you
showed
wasn't
up.
gonna go at
Let me
first.
tell you
a little
this. And I'm gonna tell you this. And you know, Mimi's a psychiatrist, right? And she says you need a mental break sometimes. Y'all don't know what I was going through. That's probably one of the most emotional seasons I've ever had, you know, with the stuff that was going on with my son. I did not know what Simone was going through, right? So when the people told me that you need to have compassion for Simone, do y'all know I didn't see my fucking son? I don't give a fuck. I did not know what Simone was going through, but whatever it was, it couldn't have been worse than, and it wasn't to me. To me, so when Simone got so mad about a VIN number, when you know I just be fucking around, I don't care. I'm
Right.
like, I'm
And I
playing.
think people should know that about you too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Simone
I know.
knows this,
You a
but Simone was
shit-stirrer,
mad
but you
about
know
what
it.
was ever
Yeah.
going on in her life, and if I would have known, I don't see what she films. She told me a little bit, but I didn't know all of it. So when Simone snapped out, and I you know, I thought, you know, we filming. So when I get ready to take a picture, because we're promoting Angel's Scrub Line, which we promote each other's stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, let's take a picture. They was like, take a picture with you and Simone. I did. Get your motherfucking fucking, she started screaming and she touched my arm like, bitch, don't touch me. Please don't touch me. All I'm going through right now, you touching me, I'm about to slap the shit. And you know, when I said, ooh, let me come back, let me just fucking go. Because if I feel like I'm about to shit at you,
that's a problem.
don't scream at me in anger and then touch me. That's how I feel. Right. And right, wrong, and indifferent, that's how I felt. No, you have and then when I found out that they said the next day, they was talking about, well, we about to go on a girls trip and we about to ride a bus 6 hours to, I'm not getting on a motherfucking bus with these girls. And they are already, I don't know what made them try so hard to come against. They don't even know what they're talking about. Trust me when I say, if I'm running for office, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So they were trying to challenge me on this. Well, you know, you said Gwinnett County has to work. No, what I said was there were some cities in Gwinnett that had the lowest test score. And I was like, I'm studying this. Yeah. I know my district.
Don't tell me about what I'm doing.
Let me tell you something.
What I'm doing.
Politics is a whole nother beast because every single second people are going to be challenging.
But you don't have to accept disrespect when people screaming at you and touching you. I will not accept that from anyone. And didn't. I left. Right. I extrapolated myself from the situation, right?
Say that right again.
Extrapolated. Ooh. Do you want me to spell it for you?
No, but I'm going to look it up later. I like that. I'm going to look at it later.
I just was like, listen, if I need a mental break based on everything I'm going to, I'm going to fucking take it. Yeah. And I did. And Simone took it as I was trying to get her in trouble or, you know what I'm saying?
She said you felt threatened.
I'm not threatened by Simone. I know Simone. But when you scream at me and then you grab my arm the way that you did, bitch, don't do that. Not what I'm, no.
And it felt
to me a lot of self-control.
Because I will say that particular scene felt to me like it wasn't that serious to you, but for her it was. And like you said, it felt like she had some other things happening. So it wasn't necessarily directed, but it was just.
It was a key. Simone said about the vending on television. I don't know what they played. That was last year. We were telling the money for the Met Gala. We were in Jackie's kitchen and Simone came in there. I looked up Contessa's building and I was like, girl, you know, I wasn't fucking with Contessa because I was laughing. And she said she don't own the building. I was like, what, girl, what? And then found out Simone looked up the wrong damn address. You know then she was like, well, she was like, I'm the instigator. I look up shit. I'm the private investigator. Okay. Right. And then she was like,
get your back straight.
If you give me the VIN number, I look up Quad shit. We laughing. It wasn't that deep for me. So of course I'm gonna tell Quad's my girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all,
and I think that should be a given too, because they should know that anything that's said about
if you said something about Jackie, about something she was doing, do you not think I'm gonna tell her?
Right.
And we on TV, that this shit might come up.
It's going to
anyway. Every time, just like I give Simone heads up with some shit going down.
Do you see this being something though? Because I feel like y'all do always manage to get to a space where you do resolve things, right?
I don't know. You know, I think that we all have so much history that is personal. Like if you did that to me right now and I'm running a campaign, it's not as personal. You see what I'm saying? We've been together 10, 12, 13 years and we know everybody's everything on camera and all. And I would love to say that I've never said anything that I knew that was off camera. I only talk about the stuff y'all talk about.
Right.
I know you don't want to hear it, but y'all do it to me. Right. And I accepted it. They were like, well, Heavenly, you act like we can't talk about it. You can talk about my son, you got to. Because it's out there now. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about, I'm not running from shit.
That felt like very vulnerable for you too. Because I feel like when it comes to family, like you said, your husband, your family, you're not putting that at risk on TV and you're not giving that. But this is something you didn't really have a choice.
Do you think Jackie would have talked about her husband if it did not come out in the vlogs? Right. I wouldn't have talked about my son either. If I could have slid that shit and not known it and it didn't come out, I wouldn't have said anything. Right. But now why would you? I gotta talk about it. I got to. There's no way I can get around it. I'm not running from anything. No, I'm not. But rather than waller and shit and worry about things, right, I come out to make a change.
How are things with you and your son now?
I talked to him on the phone. He actually moved out of state. He has something to prove to himself. And me and Damon, my husband, we argue about I learned from Simone, let your husband parent the way that he parents, right? Because men understand men and women understand women. And at first I was looking at, and it ain't none of my business, but I was looking at Cecil and I was like, Cecil's wrong. He shouldn't, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can understand wanting your kids to have the things that you did not have.
But I also think, I also felt like a united front
amongst the parents.
Especially, because I also think that Simone was just like, does anybody care about everything that I've been doing and all the work that I've been putting in and the money and da-da-da-da-da? What about me? Because she's looking forward to retiring at some point.
Simone will be 60 her next birthday.
Yeah, and financially it's kind of like, oh my God, this is...
Ain't none of us rich. relatively, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, we were with one economic downturn, right? So I feel Simone, and I think a lot of black women feel that way.
Yeah.
We all hold up our husbands. All of us, except Toya. Toya ass ain't got shit to worry about. Like, I mean, like, to me, and that's another thing. Why is she so fucking mad? She got everything. She got a beautiful house.
Well,
beautiful
but
kids.
you know what? The house and all that don't matter if she feels like he's not present enough.
But he ain't present, so he can pay for your cherry blossom tree
Angela.
that I love so
she
much.
said she bought the house with her own money. This house.
Come on, Angela, come on back, baby.
I'm
Do you
just
think
saying
that she would qualify? This job can be over tomorrow. We don't never know the next season that we
Toya was
renewed.
literally just here a couple weeks ago.
We don't know. What I'm saying, yeah, we make good money on the show. However, it's the sustenance of our husband will continue to have a job. Husband's gonna continue to have a job.
And I think people also be mad because you be like, I'm a doctor, my husband's a doctor.
Right. Yeah.
And
true. I mean, you can't be mad at
No lie.
argument over.
But you know, I and everybody's different.
Yeah.
Like whatever works for you works for you. If Toya want to stay home, let her stay home. I could stay home. I choose not to. How could I have all these brains and everything that God has given me, blessed me with, and stay home? But Toya wasn't blessed with them things, so she could stay. Come on back. That's how I get my
I'm just saying, she said she's been selling real estate, bought this house, upgraded to this house.
Who?
Toya.
The problem with that is we know the truth, and Anila put it out there. Her girl put it out there. So I'm just leave that alone. But I'm saying if you keep these hoes around, you always telling me I don't have no friends. Damn Skippy. Damn Skippy. You know what I'm saying? Heather, you don't have that many friends. That's how a boss moves, bitch. I do not meet people in the grocery store and be fearing them. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Just not in you.
Do Dr. Heavenly be at the grocery store? Like, can you even go out and do stuff like that?
I do it. Yes,
Okay.
yes. I don't dress up and go out like, you know what I'm saying? But if I dress down,
Put a little baseball
But
hat
people
on.
know Dr. Heavenly, but some of the people don't have a clue who Dr. Heavenly is. Let's be real. Like when I'm on the campaign trail, probably half the people know.
Which is a nice amount.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when it comes to politics, name recognition, brand recognition
Absolutely.
is a
It's a
big
lot.
deal. If half the people know you, that's huge.
Yeah.
I think
I think
that's
about
the
when people are
advantage.
running for office, I'll be having to look them up.
They have to pay for that.
Listen, Mom Donnie is mayor of New York City, and I remember I hosted an event when they were with seven of the mayoral people who were running, and it was super early on, and that was my first time ever hearing of Mom Donnie. And he came late because he took the train, and he was like, "Sorry, I'm late. My train was delayed." And actually, from that, I could tell that like people were gonna like him. I didn't think he was gonna. I wasn't sure if he was gonna, because you got to think Cuomo was running, Eric Adams was, people that have really big, name recognition. The comptroller was running. Brad Lander. It was like the former comptroller was running. There was a lot of people in the race that had more name recognition. But you know what really made him stand out is that young people voted and social media. And I think that was really like the breakthrough for him. And then also just being really progressive about things. And so I think
that affordability was
tired.
that's the big thing now. It's a democratic wave. They
People
spent
wanna see a
$23
change.
million trying to keep him out of office, and it didn't work.
Yes.
And that's what I tell people every day, that your vote does count, because the people got out and voted.
Does.
Yeah,
and listen, if people didn't try to convince you it didn't matter, that's how you know how much it matters.
Right.
Like people try to convince you,
absolutely.
oh, it don't matter. What's going to happen is going to happen. You don't need to vote. Blah 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 blah. Those are the same people that's like, good. We gotta,
But you know what I've noticed, that people in my district, anybody that's 65 or older, they vote because they know
they definitely vote.
what happened and what they had to go through to vote. I think the younger people are coming around, and I'm doing town hall and discussions and going to the schools to talk to them. Y'all got to vote.
What do you think are the main concerns of the younger generation when you're going out and talking in town halls and at schools?
They said that they don't know, they don't believe that their vote counts. They don't know the topics. They're not informed. You'll be surprised at people that don't know the difference between state rep and U.S. House of Representatives. I'm talking about educated people. Right. A lot of people do not know. They don't pay attention, and they feel like it's going to happen no matter what. So I try to stay out of politics, and I don't try to understand it. But once I get in office, I'm sitting down in and I'm gonna dummy it down because
Please.
everybody need to know. Because I'm learning this stuff just like I learned more in the last 6 months on politics than you
got a
would
crash
ever,
course.
ever think. You know
What
what
has
I'm saying?
been your history when it comes to voting and to being involved in politics, but prior to
running.
I
deciding
didn't
to
even
run?
know that was public knowledge, but I have voted every time and Democratic every time. You know what I'm saying? So your voting history is, but I vote. I've actually given, done fundraisers for people that were running. Of course, I was big on Stacey Abrams and of course Kamala. We came out for Barack.
I was disappointed that Stacey Abrams is like, I'm not running for governor again because but I can understand the toll that it takes when the crazy things that were happening to her and the awful things that people say. Running for office is tough because people
You
will
need
let
reality TV because they done said every damn thing about that.
I'm
What
used
else
to
could
it.
you say?
You can't say
and I'm
nothing
saying,
else.
Ellen, you don't think they're gonna roll the tapes? Yeah, you should. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Roll it.
Run it
Man,
back.
the people that's voting for me, they know what I
Run it
am
back,
and who I
13
am. You know what I'm
seasons.
saying?
Run it back.
Right.
But I love my people. I've sacrificed. I've been serving my people for years, and I understand this is a position of servant. You're a servant. You're not up there to do what you think.
Can you still be on Married to Medicine?
That's the that people keep asking that. And it ain't never been done before, has
It's
it?
never been done before.
They've had people run for office, but by the time the election is already over before it airs. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's never been done before.
Atlanta's lit right now. So your mayor, Andre Dickens.
Yes,
he's
love
dating
him.
Tracy Alonso. I saw that. They
Okay.
stepped out together, right? You see, because you live in Atlanta, kind of.
Technically still, but y'all see the hat.
What I like about Atlanta is that you could run into anybody anywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
and it is not a
And
shock.
you know what? That was something that I didn't want to interrupt you when you had asked her,
Sorry.
like, can she still go outside and things like that? In Atlanta, you are liable to see anybody
Ain't
anywhere.
nobody in Atlanta.
You are liable to see anybody
saying?
anywhere. You might see.
You gonna see Candy at South DeKalb
That
Mall.
part.
You know what I'm saying?
That
You know what I'm
part.
saying? You gonna see T.I.
That-
and Tiny out there. You gonna see
Tip and Tiny at Magic City.
Yes,
Okay.
you gonna see all of them.
Listen, it's so funny. All these people I done seen Nene when I was out at the mall, at Lenox Mall, just randomly shopping
I
by
just saw
herself.
Marlo at the Hawks game a couple
See
weeks
Marlo
ago.
all the time, at the mall.
That's
and
so.
stuff.
I seen T.I. and Tiny when I went to go eat. I was like,
Years
oh, they
ago,
got
I saw Vivica Fox in Target on Camp Creek. Years ago.
I mean, I think
when
that's
used to live over there.
amazing. You go out to eat, that you never know who's going to
You
be.
never know who's
Yeah,
going
and
to
it's
be
not
anywhere.
a shocker. It's not a big deal. People used to see
And
people
even
all
at
the
their
time.
own establishments.
Yeah.
There's a lot of celebrities in Atlanta who own establishments. I just was working at V12 when I lived in Atlanta, and Quavo was in there almost every night.
I saw him when I came.
Exactly.
He was there when I was there.
Yeah,
He
y'all
was.
both was there, and he pulled up. Yeah.
And there was some ball. Who was there? Trey Young, I think.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Was there that night? It's
Yeah.
not a game in Atlanta.
You liable to
I
see
can go out
anybody
and ain't no big
anywhere.
deal. Hey,
Right.
how you doing?
Yeah.
You might
I
get a
done
couple
seen
of
Dr.
pictures.
Simone in V12 a few times.
What do you think about the small businesses in Atlanta? Because obviously that's the fabric of the
Absolutely.
city. But what are some things that you think are necessary? Because I'm a small business owner here in New York, so I know how difficult it is too.
It is absolutely very difficult, and I know firsthand the red tape of people go through and getting the federal funding. Our people are not getting the federal dollars. They're not getting the federal
Putting that
dollars.
emphasis on that.
However, Dr.
It's
Heavenly,
there.
that's what I'm there for.
Yeah.
Because you federal
listen.
contracts. Hello?
You've done a great job with your businesses and
The
expanding and
federal.
selling.
That's different than
Yeah,
states.
that's a different. Yeah,
It's a little different than states.
It's a difference.
And I don't think it should be just the top people getting those federal contracts. I think that it shouldn't be not a blanket. It should be individualized where you apply and you understand what you're doing and be able to get federal dollars.
Because I think that's the hard part too for people, the paperwork and even being able
Everything.
to apply and knowing what's available.
Understanding. Yeah.
And you could do classes for whatever, but the federal dollars, if y'all know me. Y'all know I'm gonna make sure my people are taken care of. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm here for my people. I'm here for all people. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but my people
But
specifically.
let's talk about percentage wise, who's in your district.
Right.
70. What'd you say? 77.
And the people who are overlooked.
Yeah.
Another major thing that's happening is DEI. A lot of these initiatives have gone away, and that's affected us tremendously. But I think people don't understand DEI the way that they should.
do not. They do not. The person that benefited the most is who?
White women.
The white woman, right? And then it was supposed to be a balance because we never got the opportunities, right? But you think we not 5-10 times better? Do you think that Dr. Heavenly can walk in Congress and not be all of the things, educated, well-spoken, doing all the things? You know what I'm saying? You can't. But they'll let a Marjorie Taylor Greene in and they ain't even question. They're like, Heavenly, you don't have experience. Half them brother tuckers don't have experience.
Yep.
Why y'all coming at me like that? I am experienced. I'm actually uniquely qualified because I understand both sides of the coin. I've run
The
businesses.
people.
I've had one in every county of the district. I know what it is. I had a real estate license. Seriously, I can keep going, but all that don't even freaking matter. I always say that I did not go to law school. I didn't go to law school, right? I could have, but I didn't. I went to dental school. I'm a doctor of dental surgery. But most important, I went to Sunday school. All I need to know is what's good and bad, what's right and wrong.
Okay.
That's all I need to know is God and the Lord. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
She said, I went to Sunday school.
Speak for the weak.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
Yes, so inspiring.
I think people are going to be. I do also think that people have to feel energized to want to go out and vote, and that's important. And so, just hearing you speak now, I can see people being motivated to want to get involved and get on that campaign trail.
Absolutely,
it's exciting. When you told me you were running too, I was excited about it, and I talked about it. On way up. You did. I appreciate you. Yeah. Because I do think it's important. I want to see more people get involved in politics. A lot of people complain about what's not getting done.
But they don't do anything to make a difference.
But you know what? Honestly, did I cut you off?
No.
In my district, now that I'm running, the African American women, they're saying, Heavenly, what can I do to help? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to run. But they're saying, I want to be involved. So like when we're doing canvassing out there, we knock on doors and we spend time talking to people, and the people realize I'm serious and that I understand what's going on and I'm knowledgeable on the fact. They're like, Heavenly, I'll canvass my own neighborhood. What is this, 400 houses? I got you here. I got you here. I got you here. And it's just like a factor, you know, it just multiplies.
It builds up. Yeah, they realizing that this is just not no TV stunt. This is something that I'm really doing.
But you got to understand, it's a double-edged sword in some parts, but way more people are for me than against me. You know what I'm saying? Think about Married to Medicine. We got 9 women. Ain't but one, really. You could say 2 because she mad about a VIN number. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you do not down nobody's career. You know what I'm saying? At all. And I consider this one of my careers.
Now, some people also would say on the show that you also shouldn't talk about nobody else's husband or marriage.
They talk about mine. Okay. Did you not hear Simone? I don't know if they played it or not. Simone said, yeah, husband. They done lied on my husband. He done cheated so many times. They got illegitimate children. And then when they sit around the thing, they'll say, well, you hear anything about Heavenly Husband? Yeah, y'all heard it because Mariah said it. So yeah, we heard. But we heard about yours too. We just ain't talked about it. We heard about yours too. We just ain't talked about it.
Nobody said
you know what I'm saying? So you can't believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. Because if you get on damn social media, you'll saw somebody fight a fucking tiger and win. It's AI. So you can't believe what you see.
I be seeing so much AI that I think is real. I be like, oh my God.
Sent me one with my husband. A woman was on top of my husband. I say, damn.
What?
Damn, daddy.
You're like, let's go now.
Where was I?
Damn, daddy.
Like, they just AI some stuff together.
That's crazy.
So if you see anything about Dr. Heavenly out there in them streets, look 3 times and ask me. I'm going to tell you the truth.
See if the cars are going backwards in the background. Jordan, what was your question?
Oh, I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of people not partaking in politics is a lack of understanding. Some tequila.
Put this down.
You too young. She's like, I'm not gonna partake in this.
That don't partake in politics because they don't understand it. And there's like a lack of education and awareness of how even our taxes are politics. Simple things like our doctor's appointments. They don't compute that to...
And a lot of people don't feel like they're affected by certain things. Yeah, and my whole thing is with this healthcare thing. If people don't have healthcare, my husband worked in the ER. They're going to flood the ER, and you think that your rates are not going to go up. You're going to be in a fight whether you choose to engage or not. You might as well engage, right? You might as well. And think about this. And this is the more lighter side of me, Heavenly, because Heavenly's so bold, so outspoken. You think I ain't questioned myself and doubted myself and rethought myself twice, 3 times, second guessed and third guessed myself? Yeah, but that's when I get in the word and I say, Lord, do what you want of me. And then something will happen. And I'm like, God, this is for me, because I see it like the people that have come in my life because I'm running. It's like, if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
And I'm like, God, how the hell did I get this? How did I get this far? I knew nothing about all I knew was Clarissa, who was my PR. Yeah. That's all I knew. And I said, okay, I'm going to politics. I'm going to do it.
But sometimes that's what we need. Somebody who's smart, somebody who's been, like you said, on both sides of the things, but somebody who don't know all the ins and outs, because it can end up being very corrupt And
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
Absolutely.
You know, and sometimes what you need is that fresh perspective, but also somebody who is, I think there's just different levels of knowledge that somebody has. And while you may not be like, you know, that's something you can learn, like the ins and outs of the politics, but knowing people and knowing what people need and being part of that community.
Having the experience and understanding.
And I think caring is one of the most important things.
Empathy for the people. Humanity is the first thing. But not only that, understanding your base.
Yeah.
Understanding your base. That's how Trump won. He understood his base. Yeah. We didn't know.
Everything he said he was going to do, he did
that shit.
Like they saying,
I don't even talk bad about him no, because y'all voted for him. He told y'all what
he was going to do. And say y'all. Okay,
I mean, that way. No, I'm saying the people that voted for him, he told you exactly what he was freaking finna do.
Heritage Foundation let you know.
Told you what he was going to do.
Right.
And it happened. So
and now she's
what it is.
On her book tour, like, told you.
Absolutely. My next book will be called Unpolished. Y'all came at me and said, Heavenly's not polished. That's what Toy said. My book is called Unpolished because I can be unpolished and still.
Let me show you.
Well, I prefer matte over shiny any day. So I love
it. Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Heavenly, I know you are running around doing so many different things.
I love you so much, Angela Yee. We've been going through it for a long time. I've been coming down to
I'm like, I need to see Dr. Heavenly more. I always say that. But
absolutely.
You know, and I like this side of things. Like, this was not something I saw that was about to happen, but now that it is happening, I see it.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand it. I get it. And I feel like this is great for you. So you know.
This was definitely a different lip service episode.
Definitely.
Really?
I know.
Because we usually get all in your personal business and talk about sex and relationships.
Okay, we can talk about that, but
next time. But we did. When you said
I just know that she has sex with her
night.
husband every night.
That part. We riding with that every night.
Y'all know.
Okay?
Y'all been doing it every night.
That releases stress.
There we go.
Every night. I don't know how y'all live y'all life. I be faking in the street.
That's the only way my man could go to sleep. Okay? That's the only way.
Melatonin.
I'd be like, oh my God.
Angela melatonin.
Knocked out. Lip service.
Thank y'all so much. Make sure you go to drheavenlyforgeorgia.com. Like, subscribe, donate. Make sure you pray for me.
Yes.
Make sure you get involved. If you see my stuff, retweet it, repost it, all of the things, because we need a change. And when I win, I'm going to continue to campaign and flip some more seats so we can get some shit done.
Every vote counts.
We need that.
Georgia, stand up. Okay?
All right. And when you need me, when I'm in Atlanta, let me know. You know how we do.
You got my number. Okay. I call you too.
Lip service.